biggest celebrities that used to live right at this spot. And he was a professional boxer. Because the one thing I want to explain is about Black presence. That the majority of the time, we've always been here. Don't let people tell you that they've just come off a Windrush or they've just come around the corner last week. But majority of the time, we've always been here. Further as back. If you have the time, go when you Google it up and just search up. This is Terry Riggs, Mr. Riggs. New Beginnings, Black Eyes TV. One and only station. Check it out.
It's an honor. I want Black Eyes.
All right, people. Welcome. Black Eyes TV in the building once again, bringing you that real info. Yeah, them real organization, boots on the ground, real black individuals. Sorry about that. Yeah, bringing that real information, oh, lost my whole train of thought with that. Yeah, real organization, boots on the ground, people that really want to make a change in our community, as well as just on the talking shop. So today I'm happy to be joined by a group of brothers that have pulled their resources, pulled their mental capacities, their powers to create a project for the betterment of the community. You've seen the title of the show: mentoring, tutoring, training, the only way forward for our youth. We're going to be talking to all of them at a certain point, but again, to begin with, you know the routine. Hit the like button as you come in, share the link. If you want to donate, the PayPal or the Cash App is there in the title page, so feel free, go ahead, support Black Eyes TV and everything we're doing. Make sure, if you haven't already supported and gone to subscribe to Black Eyes TV X2 secondary channel, where we're doing much more entertainment, you know, interviews with Mr. Riggs, talk with the creators. We've had the Trenchtown Project over there, a few different things going on, and there's even more shows to come with celebrities, artists, all sorts. But today, we back. Yeah, big up to people coming in the chat. Big up the, you know, the routine. Hit that like button. Yeah, so let's begin today's conversation. I'm going to start off with the head guy himself, Ismael. Lee, unmute yourself, my brother, so you can chat to me. Let's see, that's all.
Yes.
Can you hear me? All right, there you are, nice and smooth. All right, so well, let's start off with you. Let's talk about, you know, who you are. Introduce yourself to the family, and talk about, you know, how we find ourselves at this point, brother.
First of all, let's say shout out to Black Eyes TV and Richie. Thank you for giving us the platform. Thank you for blessing us. We're really appreciative of it. Enough love, enough respect, and yeah, it's a great honor. I'll just start off with that. Basically, when I left school, I got offered a scholarship at the Bank of England, and then I also got offered a job at NatWest Bank. So I got to work in banking. So my intention was to get into become a stockbroker, but going into the banking first. Then unfortunately, I was doing well in banking for 5 or 6 years, and then what happened was my nephew and some close friends got involved in gangs. So I was kind of getting fed up of seeing people that I knew, younger brothers of people that I knew getting involved in gangs, getting locked up for foolishness and stupidness. So I started to get involved in youth work voluntarily. So we used to organize some youth programs in Harlesden, Wembley, and Brixton. And then while we were doing this, someone just gave me the idea, why don't you set up your own organization? So then I thought, you know what? Yeah, you're right. And there was an issue at the time when we were seeing a lot of young black boys who were converting to Islam were being targeted by hate preachers. So I used to meet up with some people to organize programs around countering that and promoting identity, cultural cultural understanding as well. So anyway, with the help of a few wonderful people, I was able to set up a project called the Salam Project, and I left banking. And then while doing the Salam Project, we started to get involved. We started to see that people getting involved in extremism, people getting involved in gangs, people getting involved in county lines and all the other things. They're all interrelated. And then one day a lady called me and said, look, we want to get involved in a mentoring program in Stonebridge. Now, this was 14 years ago. So we got involved in a pioneering program involved in mentoring. So it was a learning experience for me. So after I done that project, occasionally I'll get asked to do some mentoring, but it wasn't something that we done mainly. So mainly we used to do workshops in schools, prisons, youth clubs. And these are the brothers I've met along the way. And these have all supported us a great way. So they've attended all the some of the programs that we've done. And because they've seen the work that we do, they said, look, we would like to volunteer, we'd like to work with you. So I met Ali, who's a letting agent, not only, and then he's also a mentor with the Salam Project. I met with Dawood, who runs his own painting and decorating company, and he's a mentor as well. And I met with Miles. Originally, he's a procurement manager, but at the time, now, because of COVID, he's doing some MMA YouTubing, but he's got a lot of management experience. So we were hearing the narrative, or the reason why young people are ending up in prison or whatever, because there's no role models. So when I hear that, I cringe, because I know so many black men who are role models. So like yourself, Richie, like Brother Dawood, like Brother Ali, like Brother Miles, and many other brothers that I know we all know positive black men. So then what happened was, I started 3 years ago, I started to get more calls from parents, because at the time we were more concentrating on doing things in schools, doing things in prisons, doing things in youth clubs. But then we started to get a lot of calls from parents. Oh, my son, I need a mentor. I need a tutor. My son's been diagnosed with ADHD, with autism. Can you help? So then I started to think, and I was speaking to Ali, and Ali was saying, yeah, we need to do some mentoring, but it would never register. And then all of a sudden, I spoke to someone else, said, yeah, let's do a mentoring program. And the guy called Rashid Nix, shout out from Brixton, he said, look, I run a program called the mentoring workshop. I could do the mentoring training. And there's another organization, they could do the safeguarding training. And then there's a sister who's been watching the work that we do. She got us some funding, so whereby we were able to get the safeguarding training and the mentoring training. And then we said, look, we're going to do a mentoring project, promote it. And because of when COVID hit, we said, you know what, we're going to do a mentoring project, but over Skype, Zoom, FaceTime. Because we don't know who's getting what. So it's just mentoring, encouraging people with vocational, encouraging them to tap into their aspirations, life skills, as well as some Black history as well. And try to show a positive male role model in their lives. Unfortunately, as you know, the sad thing to say that as some of our young people, they don't have a positive man in their homes, or sometimes they do, but sometimes that man's too busy working. So it's just to provide that strong manhood for our young people growing up. But thankfully, I got to meet these wonderful people like Brother Miles, Brother Ali, and Brother Dawood. They're all great mentors, and they've all been mentoring hard. They've been doing the work. The kids, the young people they're working with, depression, whether it's drug addiction, whether it's learning difficulties, whether it's identity crisis. So we just started it as a small thing, but now we've done it as a small thing. Parents are now telling other parents, and we're getting more and more requests. And that's the story.
Okay. So I'm assuming, obviously, from everything you're saying, you know, as you've already intimated, Black family is an important thing to you. You understand that it needs proper,
Yeah.
This is the thing that I got to ask you as well, with the name of the project, where was the origin of the name come from? The saloon.
Yeah, because the meaning of Salam means peace. Because I'm a Black Muslim. I'm a Black African, Afro-Caribbean. and I'm a Muslim is my faith. Because one of the reasons when we first started, we started seeing a lot of hate preachers specifically targeting young black boys who come out of prison to join their groups. And then we started to see there was a correlation between gang crime and things like this. So we said, no, when I heard the name Salam, I just said, yeah, it's going to be called the Salam Project, peace. And then I found that Salam is also in Swahili and Hebrew Aramaic as well.
Ah, so it's a far-reaching, translating word. I feel you on that. I understand that. Let me take a moment to bring in some of your fellow mentors and people. Obviously, we've heard your fearless leader talking about his motivations for doing it, and he's mentioned that you all come in from diverse backgrounds, whether it's business, whatever. So, I mean, taking it in turns, I guess anyone can jump in. What was your kind of motivations for, wanting to commit time and effort to this project also, alongside obviously these other daytime activities, jobs, businesses that you're running? Why did you guys say it was important for you to, dedicate yourselves? Anyone can jump in and start that off.
You want to go, Brother Ali? You look like you're ready to go. Sure.
No, that would go on. I'll go after you. Go on. I'll go after you. Go.
All right.
That would after you. Go on.
I'm the girls so shy. Come on, talk.
That's it. Don't try and go after your gun side now.
We're not shy. We can talk, but let the brother go first. It's all right. Go on, Dawood.
Thank you, brother.
And introduce yourself to the people, brother. So as you come in and talk, introduce yourselves to the people so they know who you are. You know what I'm saying, and give them a bit.
No worries. So my name is pronounced Dawood, because many people ask. It's pronounced Dawood. It's David in English. It's the Arabic word for the Prophet David. I do paint. I work for myself. I do painting and decorating. Basically, I work in the construction industry, not limited to painting and decorating. But in my spare time, my hobby is to seek knowledge in Islam, on top of also seeking knowledge that can bring my community together, the Black community together, because I believe that the Black community, we have a long way, we're coming from a long way, and we have a long way yet to go. So I believe strongly that I can't be a part of the problem, I need to be a part of the solution. So like Ismael said, I've known Ismael now for years, and I do other projects, I do other things, but when Ismael, put his hand out to say, do you want to be a part of this? I jumped to the opportunity simply because, one, is Ismael, and I have love for the brother. And number two, it's a great opportunity to become a part of the solution in a very direct way. A lot of people say they want to help the community, but they rather take a standoff position of just paying a little money here, saying their little hellos here, making them feel good when they go home, I did something. Now, for me, I got to get into the dirt. I want to get into the issue. I want to be doing this as a lifestyle to the day I die. So this is just part of becoming a part of the solution for the community.
No doubt. Next on the hit list.
My name's Ali Kamara. Good evening, everybody. I'm a mentor and outreach worker for the Salam Project. In my spare time, I'm a radio station host at Revive FM, which is a radio station based in London, 94.0. And I also run my own podcast. Did you hear that bit? The first bit, did you hear it?
Yeah, we heard it. It just muted for a second. I don't know why.
I don't know what happened there. All right, in my spare time, I do my own podcast, which is called the Narratives Podcast, and run a radio station at Revive FM. Okay, well, just like what Brother Dawood said, I've known Ismael for many, many years, and I've always supported his work or anything that he's trying to do, and he's always done the same to me. So when he told me about the Salam Project, about helping it out and this, that, the other, in the beginning, I wasn't really on board and this, that, the other, and I just used to help out bits and pieces. But I've always found that mentoring for me was a way of actually helping to change people's lives. Do you know what I'm saying? So when the opportunity came up to get involved in the mentoring, I was like, yeah, I'm on board. I'm on board with this. Definitely, I think it's a good thing, and it's my way of actually giving back. And obviously, coming from the same kind of background, you can relate to some of these kids and what they're going through. And even if you haven't been through their experiences, if they see somebody like you can easily relate to them. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, so I thought, yeah, why don't I roll my sleeves up and get involved? Do you know what I'm saying? Some of them are going to listen, some of them ain't going to listen. Do you get what I'm trying to say? You can't fight every battle, and you ain't going to win every battle at the end of the day. But some of them, if they want to listen, and they're prepared to take on board what you're telling them, then you can actually change some lives and help them to fix up themselves if they're going wrong, if they want to. So yeah, that's my take on it, and it is fulfilling, to be honest with you, because when you see people changing their lives around and you see them making changes in their lives, from what you're telling them to do, then that's your way of giving back, and that's the way of you helping to correct your community. And now what we're doing now is really getting to young offenders, and getting to people that are in prisons and coming out of prisons and stuff like that. So you're taking shape, and also getting to the schools as well before they even get to that stage of getting to prison and getting involved in a whole heap of nonsense, because that's where it starts, to be honest with you. Do you know what I'm saying? You can get the ones before they go to prison, and you can get the ones that are coming out of prison. So yeah, it's good work. It's good work, to be honest with you.
All right. Last but not least.
All right, people. So my name's Miles. A lot of people call me Shahid. So I've known Ishmael for quite a while, but very similar to what Ali said. I've been kind of like, I'll help here and there with any projects that are going on, but I've never really been fully committed until this opportunity about mentoring came up. And for me, the reason why I was so interested to get involved was just because I recognize, like, when you're a teenager, there's a very fine line between going down the right route and the wrong route, and that line could be crossed very easily, and it could be something just as simple as having a good role model or someone in your family to talk to. And I feel like the whole thing about coming from a good family is a bit too broad, because there are people who come from so-called good families, like they might come from like a family that has money, or they might have a mum and a dad that's present, but they might not necessarily, the youth might not necessarily be able to relate to that parent for any reason. Like Ishmael said, they could be working, or it could be the case that some parents, even though they might be the same age as another parent, their mental age might be even higher, and they just can't relate to someone that much younger than them, i.e., their child. So for me, I just felt as if it's a good way for me to kind of help the community and be a positive role model for someone that needs it.
No doubt, no doubt. Okay. No, definitely. And again, now that we've heard all your story, I mean, the next question really is to just batten down on the title, the mentoring, tutoring, training. As Brother Ali already alluded to, again, we know about the school to prison pipeline that they have well fixed, where they create statistics on our children in school, and deal with them a certain way. I myself, I homeschool my son, my 13-year-old now. I had to take him out, and that very same reason, I was tired of micromanaging every little thing, and again, as a parent, you have to micromanage as standard your child's education. If you're not mirroring certain things at home as of what they're doing in school, then you're doing your child a disservice. But I got to a point where I didn't feel that they were adequately dealing with him in certain areas, and it was just a case building exercise, notes being written, stuff being compiled. And my son, he wasn't a troubled child. He didn't get into mad trouble. It wasn't that kind of situation where he was about to get excluded or anything, but still you could see the consistent pattern of how they deal with our young people. And again, as they move along stage by stage, if someone just picks up at that file and simply reads, they're not going to know your child. They're not going to know the potential. And already it's kind of marked them in a certain way. So, I definitely agree with mentoring and trying to get to them early. As I said, our Black Eyes TV here, we deal with Black family first. That's one of the big messages that we talk about. From you guys' position and from guys' mouth, talk about the importance of the Black family. Because again, we could talk about mentoring and we will go back into that a bit more. But let's get back to the beginning place where you are supposed to experience, your first relationship, your value system for males and females, all these various things that are supposed to go on. Talk about the importance of the Black family to begin with, even before we bring in outside mentorship and whatever to you guys and how you feel about
Black family. I think it's really important, like to teach them, obviously, where they come from and where they're going to, because obviously the kind of environment we're living in today, a lot of the a lot of the kids are not taught about Black history, especially in the schools today. Like my daughter said to me the other day, Dad, I want to study Black history. Can you get me a book on Black history? So I got a David Olasongo's book on Black British history, and I thought Hirsch's book called British. Now, she don't really know who these people are, right? She's only 14, right? But the fact of the matter is, the fact that she's asking me about, Black British history, because all she's learning about is King James and all these other people, right? It proves that she's trying to tap in. Now, for me as a Black father, I think it's very important for me to give her the tools that she needs so that she can understand about Black history, not to go and attack the teachers and this, that, the other, and start some Black Power movement herself. No, just so that she knows where she's coming from and what she's actually going to be dealing with inside the schools. Because one of the things that I don't like within the schooling system as well is that they're not teaching Black history, and that's where the inferiority complex comes into play. Okay, the whole thing with Megan and this, that, the other, and rare. They're not in touch with the Black history. So are you saying that we're irrelevant then to British society? Are you saying that we're not relevant? That you have to give us a medal to say Order of the British Empire, whatever, rare. We don't need that medal, man. Like Jeff and I said, we don't need that medal. We know who we are, we know where we come from, and we know the cloth that we come from, and if we don't teach our children the importance of that today, all they'll be taught is a different kind of identity. And that goes for the young men as well. Like my son, I need to teach him, hey, you come from, you're half Sierra Leonean, you're half Moroccan. This is your history. Do you understand me? This is where you come from. You have to know your history, because if you don't, it's problematic. And today with all this TikTok and all this rare, it's like, I don't know, subhanAllah, it's crazy. So we have to teach them the history. And also being a Black Muslim as well, one of the things I've realized is that it's even more so that I need to teach them their history and where they come from, because when you come to Islam and you start practicing, people expect you to take on the, no disrespect to my Arab brothers and sisters, they expect you to take on, Arabize your religion and forget your culture and where you come from as a Black African or a Black Muslim. And that's one thing you can never forget, your identity, So that's it really, to be honest with
you. No doubt. Other brothers jump in. Awu, Miles, whoever wants to jump in next.
I'll jump in next. What I would say is that in regards to the Black family, or the African family, as I like to put it, I think the issue is as a matter of two things. Number one, knowledge, and number two, it's an issue of identity crisis. So in the first instance of knowledge, I think if a person or an individual is not aware of their history, if a person is not aware of their current situation, if a person is not aware of their lineage, they can easily fall into the second issue of adopting by accident or deliberately adopting another culture, thinking that their culture is either inferior or they just don't understand who they are or where they're coming from. So I think informing my children or informing the young people that I speak to about their Black history, their African history, is extremely, and it's not just important, it's extremely important because for me, for example, being a Jamaican, we lost our history. Our African history was stripped away from us. So what we have now in Jamaica, for example, is almost 90% ignorant behavior, except the Maroon section. The Maroons are well aware, well educated into their history. What you have is 90% of Jamaica behaving the way they behave simply because they don't know who they are, where they come from, what they're meant to represent, what honor looks like, what moral looks like, what family structure and respect looks like. Many times I look at African families, Nigerian, Ghanaian, that live over here, and I can go, I like that. Look at the way they talk to the grandma. Look at the way we talk to the dad, and the respect they come in and they do the little curtsy to the elders, and we don't have none of that in Jamaica. And the only difference between the Caribbean African and the Africans is 500 years of no history. That's the difference. Our skin tone may look the same. You can go to Africa and see people who resemble people in Jamaica. We may look the same, but the knowledge and culture is not the same. And that can drastically alter a person's behavior to a point where Jamaica has been blacklisted because the expectation from Jamaicans, because of what we now have and what we now do, and because of the lack of knowledge we have of our history, is a negative one. No one wants Jamaicans in their country. People look down at, oh, you're Jamaican, oh, you smoke weed.
Yeah, but that one, I get that, and I'm not even Jamaican because I'm Black. Straight away they say to me, do you want a spliff? I'm like, I don't smoke.
Right, and that issue, we can't blame anyone but ourselves. That's what we do. And that current state that the Caribbean is in is simply down to a wiping of our history, and we just don't have any. We're now trying to create something out of nothing. Our national dish, what we wear, what our music is like, it's all made up in the last 100 and so years. There's the last 200 and so years. So definitely, I have to then go. I have two sons. I have to then go into my books, read, relearn, because I didn't learn in school. Relearn history, and then go, okay, son, this is where we're from. We're Caribbean, so we're most likely from West Africa. West Africa is Nigeria. West Africa is Ghana. This is what's in West Africa. This is what's in Ghana. I had to go and re-educate.
Right.
So education, history, and identity. That's what I would say.
No doubt. The job self is always the way. Last but never least, my brother Miles, unmute yourself. Talk to us.
Yeah, so of course I agree with all what you guys said. I think somebody touched on it earlier about when your family, or when you learn a lot of your first interactions. You think about it, the first place where you're supposed to learn respect for your elders is supposed to be, your parents. If you've got siblings, then you have to learn how to share. You have to learn how to interact. If you've got cousins and aunties, you need to learn how to interact with a wider community. These are grassroots things that you learn as a child within your family are what take you and carry you to be able to implement that as you get older in society. So if you come from some type of broken family, or if we don't focus on family, like you were saying earlier, Ricky, then that's where I think we see issues come into play. And we've all seen it. I mean, how many times have you met somebody who's got some type of trauma, or they exhibit some type of like concerning behavior, and then when they really get down to it, you form a relationship with them and they break down what their issue is. How often is it that they say I had some type of family trauma, or I had some issue with this individual in the family doing something that they shouldn't be, or so something along those lines? It's always, well, not always, but a lot of the time, it seems to be the issues that people carry come from somewhere within the family. So if we're talking about mending Black people and mending our communities, then absolutely I agree with you about the importance of the family. And of course, if you can start at the grassroots, then you can mend everything.
Sorry about that. Yeah, right now I got my son talking to me in my ear. That's why I had to mute there. Sorry, brother. Yeah, I totally hear you. I'm batting down with what you're saying about your first experiences coming from home. I definitely believe that. Oh, you probably dropped off. He'll be back on in a sec. But yeah, listen, again, I totally agree, and I don't think we put enough emphasis on what you just said, brother Miles. That those first experiences, those first value systems start in your family structure. So again, when we talk about all the inherent problems of Black people that we suffer and we go through, understanding that if we don't address this family structure situation, then we're forever going to be fighting an uphill battle. You know, in whatever we do, we can have a billion mentors, but again, if we don't deal with that original situation, we're always going to be missing the mark, because that is the cornerstone. And one thing I always say is, you know, we always talk about Black excellence. We know we're achievers throughout time and history, standardly, but we don't really always focus on the foundation in which Black excellence needs to grow out of. You understand? Because again, you have the cases of Black excellence coming from adversity, and we usually focus on that. Someone had it bad, it came from nothing, they had no one, and somehow they focused their mind and they rose out of that. But we don't give enough credence to the people that are achieving and helping people with boots on the ground because of the experience, the first-hand experience they've come out of, meaning they've come out of a constructed family narrative. They had parents that tried to educate them of self and history. If, you know what I'm saying? And again, like Brother Ali said with his daughter, certain time, it's not always about you wanting your children to necessarily be the next Malcolm or the next Betty Shabazz or whatever. Sometimes it's just simply about having situational awareness. And again, if we're here in the diaspora, the Western diaspora, whether you're in USA, England, whatever, again, having situational awareness of where you are, meaning history of the place you're in, the origin of laws and reasons why things are done is super important. You know what I'm saying? Again, there's no such thing as legacy building if you don't lay these foundations down. And again, we don't talk enough about legacy building. And England and USA, they are legacy killers. That's one of the white man's major things. He's a legacy killer. Yeah, he does things and does moves to purposely cripple you over generations. So, you know, this is why, again, it's important to have the show. If you're coming on and you're tuning in for the first time, hit the like button. You know what it is. I'm really happy to have these brothers come in and chat with me today. You see the title, Mentoring, Tutoring, Training, Only Way for Our Youth. That's what we're talking. We've just been, if you just come in, we're just talking about Black family and the importance of it. And the need for history lessons and the knowing of self is super important. Again, with taking in and understanding your where you're at and what you need to do as a young Black person and as a Black person standardly in the Western diaspora. So let's move on to the tutoring and the training and the mentoring part, because obviously that's directly what you guys deal with. That's what your organization is targeted on. So let's talk about the specific areas in which you guys are trying to target, as far as where, you know, what you, the courses you run and stuff that you're doing. So let's start with Ish. Yeah, give us a little rundown on some of the stuff that you do, and when, you know, when you talk about tutoring and mentoring, where you're coming from and what your focus is at the Salam Project. You're muted, brother.
Can't hear you. Take it off the mute.
Oh my gosh. Can you hear me now? Sorry. I don't know why it kept my record. Yeah, so sorry about that. We've got two tutors that work with us, Sister Reshma and a brother called Kamal. So, and they're university graduates. Kamal's training to become a doctor. He's done his degree. He's now doing doctor training. And Reshma, she's a learning assistant and teaching assistant from Westminster University. So those two, they do the tutoring. And then myself and Ali Kamara, we go into schools, youth clubs, churches, mosques, and deliver workshops on anti-knife crime, counter lines awareness, boys and men. So I go back to connect it to your last question. To connect it to your last question, it's important that we teach our kids Black history, but another thing that's not being emphasized is important that we teach our young people emotional intelligence and conflict resolution with the Black history. Because when we're teaching our kids Black history, and then they go into school and the school's telling their racist narrative that Christopher Columbus discovered America and all that palaver, and our kids say, no, Christopher Columbus never discovered America. It was discovered by Africans from West Africa. The teacher's thinking, whoa, that one is displaying some troublesome behavior. He might need to go into the inclusion class. He's got behavioral issues. So I'm a strong believer that with Black history, we need to be teaching our kids emotional intelligence as well. So like myself, when I'm teaching my kids certain things about Black history, I tell them straight, when you're at school, don't mention this. Don't mention this to your teacher. If she says this, your teacher's going to tell you this, right? Just, okay, play cool. Don't get involved because that's a big issue. So yes, so those are the main workshops we work on. There's one I'm getting a lot of requests for now, which I was going to speak to the brothers about, is stop and search awareness. So that's what we're looking to roll out soon. Stop and search awareness. We're giving young people advice on how to deal with the police when they get stopped. Speak to them nicely. I'll be real with you. I only learned this myself in my 30s. So up to the 30s, I used to speak to the police bad. I used to be rude to them. I'm not pretending to be a nice guy. But until a brother took me aside and said, bro, you can't talk to the police like that. If you do, you're just going to end up another statistic. So he had to sit me down and say, look, I don't like the police just like you, but when you're dealing with the police, we have to play chess. So I was thinking the same way a brother sat me down and told me that I believe this is what we need to be telling our young people. We need to be teaching our young people to play chess and not drafts.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt.
Can I add on to that?
Yeah, that's it, people. Jump in.
That right there is something. It's funny you said that, Ishmael, because that's something me and a few of my other friends are trying to start doing. We're trying to do some workshop after the lockdown, do some kind of ask parents to bring their kids to like a little conference, and we go over this stop and search issue, because I genuinely believe that this temperament that we have taught our young generation, because I grew up as a Jamaican. My uncle used to say, "Burn Babylon, don't touch me. Where I do? You don't have no right to touch me, rude boy. Don't touch me." Right? And you grow up and you watch that and you go, okay, I'll do that. I'll do that when the police stop me. Not realizing that, no. Now you're gonna give them a reason to beat you and take you into the police station. Whereas, here's another scenario. All right, officer, you want to stop and search me for some random reason you made up? No worries, go ahead. But just know, my dad, you're going to take me to the station. I'm going to be calm as a cookie, right? And when my dad comes, you need to have a good reason why you stopped me from being late getting home, right? Either way, you may feel embarrassed, and that's cool, and I get it. It's embarrassing, it's demeaning. But you're trying to play chess. You either want the worst outcome or you want the best outcome out of the situation, because in reality, we don't have power in that moment to say no. they're going to do what they want to do regardless. And the whole government is saying they're allowed to. So what are we going to do with our little voice? Just keep it calm. Let them take you where they want to take you, do their little search, and deal with it after that. But it's hard to tell you know, a beaten. It is. It's hard to tell a beaten person not to cry. It's too late after that. You got to tell them before you need to beat them. Listen, don't do that. Don't do this. You're gonna make me beat you. If you do this, I'm gonna beat your backside. Don't do it. Sorry, I'm thinking about my sons. All right, I don't have to beat you. And then after you beat them, you tell them don't cry. No. Let's deal with the situation before you have to get beaten. Sorry, I'm used to the beating. Sorry, I'll stop.
No, it's real talk. It's real talk. We're all about real talk here, yeah, real scenarios. And this is the thing. We can intellectualize. Like sometimes you can have these conversations on an intellectualized basis, but as we already started off with, it's better when you see it and you've experienced it and you've lived it. That's the most powerful knowledge you can get. So when you're talking from that aspect as a parent and you're showing the chronological order of how you will deal with something, as you're saying, why am I going to talk after the fact? I'm going to try and chat to you beforehand. Let me. Because again, as I always say, only victims remember. Yeah, so once the things happen, as you're saying, they're only going to remember a certain portion. So the lesson will be lost. So if you don't talk sooner rather than later, it don't make sense. It's less effective. Same thing with our young people. We don't talk to them before they've had the clashes with the police and these authority figures, from teachers to police to whoever, and we're setting them up for drama. And again, it just makes sense. But yeah, other two brothers, come in with anything you want to add to that.
Yeah, so like I want to add to that. Like, at the moment, my son's got an issue at school, right? His mother dealt with the teachers. Now, she's from North Africa, and English is not her first language. So the way she would deal with the teachers and the way I deal with the teachers is a bit different. So it's got to the stage where now they're trying to say that he's not a problem kid, because they know he's not a problem kid, but they kept him in a room by himself for like an hour and so plus. Do you know what I'm saying? Like almost like a detention, like a kind of deterrent kind of thing. And then it blew up again, and she was arguing with the teachers, and I couldn't go because I work nights, so I'm going to go another day. But the thing is, if I don't nip this in the bud before it's too late, they might try and make him a case or make him a statistic. Now, it was a small issue with a child that had autism, and my son said to the child, "Don't kick the ball," and he kicked the ball, and my son told him to stay in line. Now, because the boy started crying after that, so because of that, my son got reprimanded for it. Do you know what I'm saying? And I just don't think that the teachers have dealt with that in the right way. First of all, this child's got autistic behavior. So with children with autistic behavior, they can have all kind of outbursts, yeah. And the teachers need to be trained very well with autistic children, you know. And if they're not trained very well on how to deal with autistic children, you're always going to blame the other kids who don't have this kind of condition, and they're going to be blamed if they upset this child in some way because you can't handle this child's behavior. You understand me? So things like that, sometimes when you've got them in a school setting, if it's not dealt with properly, children can be labeled, you know, bad kids or disruptive, or they could even say that this is bullying, bro. Do you get me? So I'd have to nip this in the bud ASAP, because they could try and say, "Oh, he's bullying him." No, mate. And the funny thing is, my son's he's not talkative like me. He's got his mother's personality, you see. So now he's starting to find a voice because he's 10. He's starting to hit puberty. He's starting to find a voice. He's starting to speak up. So now you're going to start to label him a problem child. So I've got to nip this in the bud ASAP. Anyway, going back to the mentoring side of it, this all boils down to mentoring. Now I have to mentor him how he's going to maneuver around this kind of situation from now, from the knowledge that I have, how he's going to maneuver around this situation. But then also I have to come in and educate the teachers to say to them, hey, have you taught the teachers about mentoring children that are autistic? Because if you haven't, then you have a problem here, and you're always going to have an issue here. Do you know what I'm saying? Anyway, going back to mentoring itself, the other day I went to I think it was Brixton Prison, and I just looking at some of the youth them in there, and I'm like, mentoring is so good for them because the amount of hours they spend in the prison, walking around the yard and on the wing and this, that, the other, they're not really learning anything, bro. And if they've got good mentors and they've got good training, trust me, when they come out of prison, they can be somebody. And in many cases, they're going to come back, reoffend, and go back into the prison system. And it's just a waste of resources, a waste of money, and a waste of their brain cells as well. So that's where good mentors come into it. And going back to mentoring and training itself, it starts from the home. If we can mentor ourselves in the home, our young men, our young women, and train them properly. And as black fathers, we need to be present as well. Very important that we're present. Do you know what I'm saying? Even if you're divorced or whatever, still, or you're not with the child no more, with the mums no more, you still need to be in them children's lives. I think it's very important that you are present. If you're not present, somebody else is going to teach your child, or somebody else is going to fill the vacuum. Whether it be gangs, whether it be some people from road, or somebody that's going to introduce them to drugs, or somebody that's going to introduce them to crime, or whatever, you need to be present as that father and as that adult to train that child or mentor that child that, hey, you need to go this way and don't go that way. Do you understand me? So that's it basically. It all boils down to mentoring training. It's a life cycle basically. Do you get me? It's a life cycle. You know, we train our children so that they can go out there and be the best version of themselves. You know, when they finish school and when they turn into adults. And you know, as we know, life is like it's a whole training process itself. Anyway, you know what I mean? That's that really. But yeah, we've got a battle in the school system with our kids, and we need to stay on it, to be honest with you, because you know I'm dealing with predominantly white teachers as well. So when I go in there, I have to put my formal voice on. You know the formal voice you got to put on. Hello, hi, how are you? Yes, Miss Diggs, it's a pleasure to meet you. It's me, Mr. Kamara, here today. Yeah. So what seems to be the issue with my son? I can't go in and say, yeah, right. Well, what got with my son? When the blood clot, yeah, I deal with. I can't. Do you know what I mean? I have to come in there. See, this is, and also, this last thing I'm going to finish on. This is also where the structural racism comes into it as well. I have to go in and say, oh, hi, Miss Diggs. Oh, how are you? Good morning. I'm Mr. Kamara here.
Oh, his signal dropped.
He died, yeah. But also, I just wanted to add. Someone just said on your message thing, we need digital training for our kids.
Sorry, I don't know what happened then. Cut off.
Oh, come true.
Yeah, so basically, I'd walk in and I'd have to say, hi, it's me, Mr. Kamara. What seems to be the issue with my son? And that's how I'd have to talk for the whole process, bro. Do you get me? And that's the whole process, you know. It's like, you know, and it's like, you know, that in itself is like something that you don't want to have to do, but it's something that's almost been forced upon you within this society. Otherwise you'll be deemed as unacceptable. Do you know what I mean?
Right. No, I definitely hear you. I think one of the biggest problems as well is that the teachers are getting younger. I'm going in and some of the teachers look as young as the students. So if you're supposed to be the mentor for my youth, and you don't even know yourself because your life's changing, because you're a young person yourself. So your position as far as, you know, where your morals compass is, even what you want to do eventually with your life, because some of these teachers are as young as 26, you know, 27s, 25s. So that to me is a big problem. Kids mentoring kids, and when you have teachers like that, they're following the script even more. They're even less of free thinkers when you have them younger teachers. So that's where there's even bigger problem dealing with them.
One thing, I'm sorry to jump in. Also as well, I think that some teachers need what's it called? They need cultural training and awareness. Cultural training and awareness. Not all, some.
Well, yeah, no, definitely. And some would say we just need more black teachers. There's there's only so much culturalizing you can give to a white person
Yeah, but
or
if
someone else.
you're gonna say black teachers, then they're gonna say, well, why don't you get a black? Why don't you just have a black school? So that's why I say some. Do you get where I'm coming from?
I feel you. Ish, you was about to start talking about the training question that you saw pop up on the screen.
Yes, so Mr. Riggs made a comment that we need more digital training and cryptocurrency training. So I'm just letting Mr. Riggs know. Basically, with the thanks of an organization called Near Neighbors, they're sponsoring free training of digital training for young ex-offenders, permanently excluded kids from school, homeschool kids, and long-term unemployed. So it's a 10-week course where young people get to learn how to make a website, how they can make an app, and learn about e-commerce so they can know how to generate money doing these things. So this is a course we're going to be running for free in partnership with Azealia Tech Training. They're a company, they're a black-owned training tech company. So they contacted us and they said, we would like to run this training program in partnership with you. And I said, I'll only be interested if you make it free for ex-offenders, permanent excluded from kids from school, homeschool kids, and long-term unemployed. And they've said yes. So that should be starting in late March. But I'll send you the details. I haven't got the dates to mind. My mind just went blank. So yeah, just to let Mr. Riggs know that.
That's all. Big up Riggsy. That's my co-host who I work with on here on Black Ice TV7. For those that don't know,
Brilliant.
Big up Riggsy in the chat, always promoting the thing. But yeah, again, this kind of leads into the next part because we've been talking about mentoring, so the tutoring and training. Obviously, you've just touched on the digital training. What other situations are you focusing a lot on the digital side? What other areas of training and development are you looking at maybe getting into? And based on some of your skills, because as you were saying, some of you are businessmen and trained in other things, do you see yourselves trying to teach those skills, i.e., running of companies, painting, decorating, whatever it is that your personalized skills, do you see that getting incorporated?
Yeah, in the future, we've done some business skills training on Zoom, and we basically, because we know a lot of our young people are into music, so we got a group of people who are involved in the music business, are talking about the business side, so showing young people how they could generate money, not just by putting things on YouTube, but other streams of income in the music business they can get. And we got a brother called Tevin J from Link Up TV, brother Thad Boogie from Big Promo Biz, who does like an urban PR company, and we had the manager of a well-known grime artist called Lowski. So it's a brother called Anthony. So they were talking about how you can make money not only as the person in front of the camera, but behind the camera too. So that's the business. And then what it is, we're working in partnership with an organization called Cherry Tree Foundation, and they're doing construction training. So what we've been doing, we've been promoting their courses in construction training and rail track services training. And it's free, and where people get their CSCS cards, and that comes as a doorway. And finally, just finalized today, I just WhatsApped everyone in the group this morning. There's an organization called Dragons Football Academy, and they've got NBQ level 2 courses in construction, fitness training, customer service, and business admin. And we're going to be promoting that to our young people in the community too.
Okay. So
yeah.
You got full roster. You got full roster there. Sorry, Miles. I sorry. I think I skipped over you. Did you have something that you wanted to add from earlier before we
No,
continue?
you guys covered everything, man. No.
You sure? Because sorry, I didn't even realize that we was
No, it's good. No, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
All voices are equal and the same here. I mean, you get me? Yeah. Sorry. Continue, Ish, with what you were saying about the training. Or Dawu, whoever wants to.
So from experience, from experience, I've met, and these brothers all know as well, they've met people as well. We've met people who've been involved in gangs, okay? And sometimes it's easy to say, oh, don't sell drugs, or don't do a robbery. At the end of the day, they need to make money. So our mind frame is we need to help to guide them to find legitimate ways of making money, but it's got to be something that appeases their inner aspirations. So, for example, there's a young boy I was mentoring, and I keep it real, he used to rob crack dealers, yeah, in Harlesden. I ain't mentioning no names. So he used to rob crack dealers in Harlesden. And one day, we just sat him and I said, bro, if you had the chance to go legit, I ain't gonna tell you to stop it because I know you're not gonna stop. What would you want to do? And he said, I want to be a model. So I ain't gonna lie to you. I wanted to laugh. I wanted to crack up laugh. I had to try my best to hold my face. And then not just me, a group of other people, we got him some opportunities. There's an organization called Models of Diversity. They got him some opportunities. And now he's a paid model. He's a paid model, and he stopped gangbanging. He just stopped. And now what he's made so much money from modeling, he's now starting up his own modeling agency.
Wow.
And now he's utilizing his street knowledge in the modeling business world. So what he's doing is he's making a so-called BAME modeling agency. So he's just getting Asians, blacks, and Arabs. So that's his niche. So the big companies, if they want a BAME model, they come to his company. So when I saw what he was doing, I said, bro, you're inspiring me. Because I'd be real, I ain't gonna lie to you. When I first met you, I thought there's no chance. I'm wasting my time here. I ain't gonna lie. So just by him, what he's doing now, people like that give me inspiration.
That's a real success story right there.
Well, I don't know. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, you're saying?
No. I'm saying go through, brother.
Yeah, just to add on to what Ishmael's saying, I see that connection in my mentee as well. Is that, for example, my mentee, he likes to draw. He's an artist. So I said to him, all right, well, what would you? Obviously, he's interested in benefiting the world through that, like giving charity and stuff like that. So I said, okay, you could potentially draw nature stuff. You could potentially draw oceans and animals or whatever it may be, sell them at auction, give that to charity. So my point anyway is sometimes mentoring comes down to helping to spark that inside spirit that individual has. It's not all about, sometimes it's not all about education necessarily or black identity necessarily. It's just looking at that individual in front of you, whether it be your own child or somebody that you've taken on to mentor, and saying, how can I light that flame of inspiration, of I want to go for, I could be that. How can I light that in that individual, in that young person? So sometimes you have to take away the sheet of being a mentor and go, I like this young man in front of me. He's a nice little boy. He's a nice guy. His mom's just a bit worried about him. His parents just a bit worried about him. He might have been caught up in a bit of gang crime and gang shit, but that's not really what defines him. Like, he has dreams too, So it's finding what that individual, that young person likes. Whether it be a person that came out of prison, it doesn't matter. Everyone has dreams. You find out what they want and try to aid them in that. And then from developing that flame, you can then light everything else going on in their life from that one flame. You can then go, okay, start studying, start educating yourself, start dressing better, start ignoring these kinds of people, start becoming friends with these kinds of people, start being more positive in your life. But if you don't have any flame in that person, if you don't light inspiration in that individual, you're wasting time. It doesn't matter whether it's your own child. It doesn't matter whether it's a stranger. We must develop inspiration in these people. I can't. We are Black people. That's our thing. It's energy. It's positivity. It's that. That's just how we are. We have vibrations. We're just heavily vibrating with a lot of energy. That's just the type of people we are. We're very spiritual. You know what I mean? So when I speak to you, so what you said, Ishmael, is definitely hitting the nail on the head. We may think, oh, this is, this is outside of normal. We may not see it at first, but then while you're talking to these young people, these people that just come out of prison, you're talking to them, and you figure out, you know what, I could actually help him with that dream. And then from there, you build the knowledge of history, the knowledge of self, the knowledge of identity, the knowledge of their current situation, build on that and help them to escape their situation. So I definitely want to add on to that. And then leading on to the comment, if I may, in regards to the digital currency thing, I do think I have a little thing to say about this. I definitely agree that we're about to go into the digital currency age. No doubt about that. And I do think, and I was saying this the other day to a few of my friends, this is an opportunity for our community to get on a level playing field with everyone else. Let me explain. Because we were behind in resources, in regards to ownership and patency of resources in the first time, everyone got ahead of us in regards to gold, silver, the value of their currency. The Americans made the whole stock market based on dollars. No, they had these moves they could make. When it's digital, if we can educate ourselves and our young community on the upcoming financial landscape, we could potentially have bolster a generation of kids, of young people who know the system just as much as everybody else. Because that's the issue with finances, is we were late to the game. We were late to the table. We were late to patencies. We were late to ownerships. We were late to anything as a community. But now with the digital age, we have an opportunity to equalize the table financially speaking. But that's as much as I'm going to say, and I'll digress. Sorry, guys.
No. You was on point with the answer, Rude Boy. You didn't go off track. You covered the bases most definitely and spoke to the points at hand. Miles, I want to bring you in definitely. You got anything you want to add to the situation so far as we stand?
Not on that, man. You guys are covering it all. You guys are doing good. I'm learning here. Just listening.
Okay. Well, listen, I ain't gonna let you off the hook that easily, Miles. Let me ask you this, yeah. In your opinion, yeah, like, is there a particular area that you feel that we need to focus on when it comes to training? Is there something in your own personal group? Because again, I don't know your actual age, but something where you've heard consistently that if there was more opportunities provided, people would be interested. What's your opinion on that?
To be honest, I think that's a good question, and I think as the world's changing, as Dawood mentioned, and I think with the opportunities that Ishmael's talking about, I feel as if it's going in that direction anyway. Because I feel like when I was a bit younger, when I was a teenager, and I was looking for opportunity, I was going to go down. It was kind of presented that if you don't go to university, then you're basically going to be, you're not going to have much work, isn't it? So I feel as times are changing, things are different, because I feel as if a lot of the reason why people went down the route of the streets and crime and all that type of stuff is because they said, right, well, you're telling me I'm either going to be broke or I have to go to university and become an academic. Well, I don't see myself being an academic, and I definitely don't see myself being broke. So I've got to find some other way to fulfill that. Whereas now I feel like there's so much more opportunities, especially with this whole digital thing, for a lot of people to do other things. So I feel as if it's going in the right direction. Of course, there's always more that can be done. And I do think with the whole, I was actually going to ask a very similar question before Ishmael answered it about training on this whole finance thing and this crypto, and I think it is good. So I think we're going in the right direction.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. All right. I mean, we Riggsy from the chat was kind of asking about generational trauma and better understanding of life, and we kind of touched on that earlier on in the conversation, as far as a family structure, situational awareness training, talking and emotional training for our young people. So again, they're better equipped to deal with these skills that now we're talking about, trying to impart to our young people. again, if they don't have any sort of self-discipline, then it's going to be a lot harder trying to teach certain skills of any sort to a person who has no self-discipline, has no emotional control, and all these things. So that's a definite. Um, let me, I mean, within that, you guys are all kind of coming from this Muslim perspective. So without again using the demonized term of religion, let's talk about spirituality and how that kind of folds in to training, to having a balanced mind state. You know, where do you guys sit on that situation? Because I'd like to hear about that.
Like um like Brother Dawood said, yeah. I think us we go by like vibes. You know what I'm saying? Like some of us might carry more energy than others when it comes into walking into a room or a situation. Do you know what I'm saying? And as from what I can see, us black people, we have a lot of charisma. Some of us are just born with bags of charisma. Some of us will have less charisma than others. Some of us will have a lot of charisma. But I think we're all blessed with charisma and confidence. I think as black males, we have I think there's a lot of confidence there, and I think the energy for us plays a massive part in what we're dealing with day to day. Could be the way that we dress, could be the food that we eat, could be the fact that we pray. I mean, could be the fact that we're connected to our homeland and our ancestors, should we say, or our day-to-day things that we read, because everything that you take in builds you. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And especially the food that you eat as well. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, you might be a man that takes CMOS every day. You understand me? You might be a man that takes something like Shilajit, which what they use from the Himalayan mountains, which takes out all the toxins in your body and stuff like that. So spiritualness is very important. It might even be down to the music that you actually listen to as well. Do you know what I'm saying? That could bring vibes. You understand me? You know? So those types of things I think are very important to who we are. Energy's really, really important. And without that energy as well, and sometimes being in this society as well, people expect you to blank out that energy and to forget about the energy of who you are. But that is who you are, and that's what carries you through, to be honest with you. Without that energy that you was born with, it ain't going nowhere. Everybody knows when you do a party, black people bring vibes to the party. Do you understand me? You know, we bring vibes, and they're trying to drop it like we don't bring vibes. Without us, there is no vibes. Do you understand me? We change culture. We are trendsetters. Fashion, we change it. Style of speaking, we change it. Do you know what I'm saying? We break down all those barriers. I mean, you've only got to look to someone like Idris Elba. They're saying that, hey, we don't know whether James Bond should be black or not. That's dead. Of course he should be. Do you understand me? You know, because it's not even about the color no more. We bring the style, we change the pattern, and we bring the fashion. Anyway, I'm done. That's all I got to say.
If I may go ahead, inshallah. Sorry.
Jump in, brother.
Uncle Ali always makes me smile, mashallah. So for me, you know, all of us here on different spiritual levels, at the end of the day, some of us may be better than others, than others. I would be remiss, and I would be failing my duty as a Muslim if I didn't express and be very clear. I believe that spirituality, God consciousness, having a moral compass, that Islam is an essential part of the identity of the upliftment of the human being. So, for example, I believe strongly that we are both body, mind, and soul. And just like gym is the physical workout for the body, and just like reading is the physical workout for the mind, expressing, developing, and growing your spiritual connection with the Creator is an essential aspect of growing the soul. You must, an individual, I believe an individual, I need to engage my mentee on all those levels. I can't just be there teaching them how to gain money without moral standards, without spiritual connections. That's not who we are as Black people. That is that's failing already before even beginning. That's the mentality I have. I must aim, I say to myself, I must aim to help this person on all those levels. So sometimes I would say, you know, I'm a Muslim, so I may not be the best person to say, for example, I'm going to teach you about Christianity, because I won't be as genuine as I would be if I was a Christian. So I would take on a person that I know I can help them Islamically. But in this organization, we have different mentors, Christian and otherwise. It's not just Muslim. Ismael works with a lot of people. But for me personally, it is extremely important for an individual to have a spiritual connection. I believe that this world is not just physical. It's not just what you eat. We are affected by spiritual matters. We're affected by mental matters. We're affected by physical matters. And if we don't recognize these issues and try to take care of these issues, we're only developing issues down the line for ourselves.
Facts, and big facts. Anyone else want to add to that?
Leave it to Miles.
Come on, Miles.
Again, you guys covered it, man. It's hard to fill a space with all you guys here, man, because you make such good points. I'm here thinking, yeah, man, I should have thought of that.
It's all good, brother. Don't feel no way to repeat it. As long as it's in your own words, we appreciate it.
Yeah. So I'll just say personally that as everyone knows, even though we're the majority of the Salam Project, to be transparent with you, the majority of us are Muslim, okay, Black Muslims, but the majority of the people that we're mentoring are of all backgrounds. So some of them are Christian, from Christian families, Pan-Africanist families, Rasta families, as well as Muslim families. And we always come with the standpoint when we're mentoring, we make sure we don't push our views, religious views, to the young people we're working with. So that's what I have to say, stand off. But we make sure that we respect their chosen faiths, because we believe that that's between them and their creator. That's for them to find out. But all, like what Dawood said, we have to promote a positive moral compass and an acknowledgement of spirituality. Well, whichever road they choose to take, that's between them and the creator. But as Black people, as we know, spirituality is essential. And as we know, unfortunately, within the schooling system, within the college system and the university system, they are permanently pushing an atheist agenda. And we have to understand that this has been attacking our young people. So many of our young people are constantly asked to be challenged their belief in God. So this is, I'm talking to all Black people, whether they're Christian, Muslim, Rasta. So even the ones that are going the wrong way, they're going the wrong way. But even the ones who are trying to go the right way, there's a strong pushing of an atheism agenda. And as we know, I'm not here to condemn atheists, what everyone's supposed to do, but we know as Black people, by nature, we are people of spirituality.
Yeah, 100%.
And may I just say that I believe that everything in life has structure. And if everything in life has structure, there's always a pillar that if you push it over, everything else just falls like domino. For example, the keystone of the family is the mother, is the woman. And if you destroy the woman, you destroy the family. That's an example. Now, in regards to the human being as an individual, our keystone is our spirituality, I believe. If you destroy a person's spirituality, you destroy their compass, their moral compass. All they're left with is being human and everything else that has made their information or everything else that's come in their mind from experience so far. And that's where it starts.
For real.
And what I mean by that is it's like having a map. You have the map has every information on it. The map has every address on it. You know where you want to go. Sorry, you know where you want to go, but the map has no compass or GPS. At that point, it doesn't matter how much information the map has, it can't take you anywhere. Because there's no focus, there's no direction, there's no go here, turn right, turn left, don't go here, don't go. That's direction, that's aid. So, you know, we must not ignore this part of uplifting our culture. We must keep the spirituality alive, keep the knowledge alive, and be role models as much as we can. Education, spirituality, and just keep reminding ourselves. And we're coming in a new age of digital finances, so it's an opportunity, I believe, and this is a big opportunity, not a small one, because we need to. The financial playing field is ridiculously uneven, and this is a big problem in the modern age. But yeah, so that's my two take on Ishmael.
I think also it's good if, as a mentor, you do have a spiritual side where you have something to offer on that side, because a lot of the youth at school, as you're saying, Ishmael, it does seem as if there is this type of either atheist agenda or a lack of spiritual agenda. Just, you know, school for a lot of people is a means to an end to get capital, and that, you know, in a lot of people's perspective, it's just about attaining wealth and money. So it doesn't really teach you much about spiritualism. So if you are able to add that, I think it is useful. I mean, of course, you don't want to push your agenda on someone that young, but it's good to have it if they ask, that you can give them some type of guidance, because a lot of them will have questions about spiritualism or just things of this nature, which they probably can't get at school. So I think it is useful.
Yeah, I agree. And I think how they're going to learn that spiritualness, we need to teach them about Mansa Musa. We need to teach them about the African kingdoms. We need to teach them about Bob Marley. We need to teach them about, you know, the Black Sahabas, Bilal ibn Rabah, what's his name? That guy, where's he from? Iraq, Hassan al-Basri. We need to teach them about, what's his name? Sheikh Diop. We need to teach them about all these great leaders. You understand? Nelson Mandela, Robert Mugabe. We need to teach them about these kind of leaders and the sisters as well. We need to teach them about this great sisters like Winnie Mandela and, you know, Rosa Parks, all these kind of things. These are the things that build your spiritual character, to know, hey, these are the people that look like me, and these are the people that made it, and these are the people that made marks in society. These are the people that we need to teach them about. Do you understand me? In order for them to have that strong spiritual character, because why? A lot of things they're taught in school, they can't identify with those people. In fact, the people that they're identifying with them, I've told them that you're inferior to us. So how are you ever going to become stronger if you're reading these books all the time and taking in all these things? That, hey, these are the people that enslaved your people and put them on boats and said that, hey, you're not clever, you're not brainy, you don't have the intelligence to stand on the same stage as me. You know what I mean? You don't even know how to read or write, or you shouldn't read or write. We're not going to teach you how to read and write. What we're going to ask you to do is pick cotton from the field. Well, on that note there, you know, we need to teach our young people about the people that made marks in life throughout history, and people that they've never heard of. And, you know, these are the kind of things that will shape their character, to be honest with you, you know? And also we need to teach them about business. One of the mistakes our generation made, my parents and maybe you guys' parents as well, when they came to this country, they didn't learn about business and opening businesses. These are the things we need to teach our children, is opening businesses and working together as units. This is what makes you strong. I mean, I don't really follow Farrakhan to that sense. I do listen to him a bit because I think he's got quite a bit of knowledge, being a mainstream Muslim that I am. But one of the things Louis said is that, you know, and Malcolm, is that, where's the black businesses, man? Why aren't we working together? You help me build my business, I help you build yours. You bloody build a house, help me build a house, I help you build a house. Make it like a train, make it like a domino effect. You build a shop, I help you get a shop. You get a yard, I help you get a yard. These are the things that we lack today. And we need to put our money together, put our brains together, and then we'll be stronger together. It's all good reading all the books you can in the world, but if we have no unity, bro, we ain't going nowhere. Trust me, we ain't going nowhere. And that's why the Asians are doing so well today, and that's why the white system is doing so well today, because Dave can come and say to John, Hey, John, you know I've got a calf down the road that I'm building. Yeah, we'll come and help you. I'll give you 400 or 500 quid for the calf. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I'll help you. I've got a plan. He'll come and help you do it. And this is the exact same thing that Asians do. The moment we start helping each other and backing your brother up, I think we're starting to get somewhere. It's not always down to money sometimes. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And the once we can start helping each other, whether it be financial, whether it be just aiding your brother, then we're on the right step. But we need to teach our children about businesses, owning businesses and working together, and economics. Very important. The moment we do that, we're getting somewhere, trust me. And that's why Black Americans are doing so well, because they've got a lot more unity than what we have. Even though they've got their problems, they've got a lot more unity than what we have. Do you know what I'm saying? If we can build something like the Black British Council of Great Britain, then we'll be going somewhere, mate, to be honest with you, because we'll be doing our own thing. And I'm saying, instead of always saying, oh, where are we going? No, we need to come together. Once we come together, like Bob Marley said, unity is strength. It is strength. And that is what we need to do, to be honest with
Mm.
If I may reply to my uncle, is that okay, Richard?
Jump in, brother.
Yeah,
Jump in. I'm feeling back and forth.
Jump in.
Sorry, I just wanted to. So I'm reading the comments and listening to my uncle at the same time. So somebody said in the comments that atheism, there's nothing wrong with atheism as long as they're trying to help us, and I absolutely agree that no matter where the helping hand comes from, I hope no one is taking it that we're saying that spirituality is the end all and be all. No. We're just saying that in regards to being a mentor, you're standing in front of someone, we need to acknowledge them on all these levels: physical, spiritual, and mental. But in regards to support, to uplifting the Black community, all hands are welcome at the end of the day. We could, all the help, we don't mind. Don't mind where it's coming from. At that point, it doesn't matter who or what you believe in. Are we all trying to come together and uplift the Black community? And it ties into what my uncle was saying here, which is we all must come together. But the problem I think we have as a community in regards to coming together is, and it has nothing to do with knowledge, and it has nothing to do with that we don't want to. The problem we have of coming together is that the system we have over here doesn't support that kind of mentality. For example, Uncle Ali, you said that, if a guy said, I'm going to create a pub down the road or a fish and chip shop, his mate might say, yeah, I'll help you. That's because this is their country. This is their system. Black people, we think, I think it was Dr. Sebi who said the Europeans, they think linearly, whereas the Africans, we think vertically. We think step by step, right? Let me just give them a more of an understanding. For a linear person to try to think vertical, you're going to put yourself into a mental imbalance. You're not going to understand what you're doing, or you're going to find yourself at a losing end when you're trying to work with your community in that kind of system. What I mean by that is that in this society, for example, yes, we need trust, but in this society, for example, trust is not necessarily the issue between Black people. It's how we get together. So, for example, Ismael has a project, and Ismael wants to help the Black community, for example, okay? And Ismael knows such and such people from different communities. He's like, guys, I want to do this. Who can help? The first thing everyone thinks is money. The first thing everybody thinks is, well, how much is this going to cost me to help you, Ishmael? What? Why? Because that's European thinking. This is linear. This is horizontal thinking. You over here, you over there. The African thinking is the next step. Okay, why, Ishmael? Oh, because I need to do this. Okay, I'll help you. But that doesn't work here. Because here, money talks. I hope I'm coming across. If you're trying to build a community, how are we trying to do that as a community that thinks linear? It doesn't work in a horizontal system because it's going to require. Yeah.
Check this out. If they was able to put together the Muslim Council of Great Britain, why aren't they able to put together the Black Council of Great Britain? You tell me.
The answer
we can do it. We can do it.
I agree with you, but the difference between the Muslim Council is that our conviction was spiritual, not financial. So we were able to do that because that's
Yeah,
linear thinking.
I agree, Darrell. But I mean, with the Black Council of Great Britain, I think our main goal would be spiritual. To be honest with you, and unity. You'd be surprised if we were to put together the Black Council of Great Britain, right, with all the systematic racism that's been going on in this country up until today. If we was to put together the Black Council of Great Britain, I guarantee you get the most heads that would want to get involved and that would be behind it, and that would be a figurehead to actually deal with systematic racism within this country. You'd get barristers, you'd get all kind of people that would want to jump on board, that would be able to help us to deal with day-to-day issues that we need to deal with within this country that we're having trouble dealing with. Because we need a council, let's be honest. In America, you've got the NAACP. When they got major issues, they bring in Sharpton, they bring in this one, they bring in that one. Who do we bring in? Diane Abbott. Who do we bring in? Lenny Henry. Who do we bring in?
Lee Jasper's.
Well-
You gotta give it to Lee Jasper. He does do his thing.
He's been. I know Lee's done his thing for a while. No disrespecting, but you get where I'm coming from, though. We need something like that, bro. What are we gonna say? Oh no, we're gonna bring in David Lammy. No, David Lammy's gonna come in and he's just gonna, he's gonna do his Queen's speech. No disrespect to him. He's gonna do the formal language because he's trying to be accepted, bro. We need our own thing. I'm sorry. We need our own thing that we can say, hey, this is what we're dealing with. This is the Black Council of Great Britain. We want to execute this. We're not happy with this. We're not happy with this. That would be amazing for us, to be honest. And we've got young people that will be able to carry that forward for us. We've got our Farrakhan's here. We've got our Malcolm X's here. We've got our Al Sharptons here. We've got them, bro. But we need to bring them out of the dust. We need to bring them out of the dust. Us older heads need to bring them out. They're here, brother. Trust me. They are here and they're ready to talk and they're ready to stand up for their rights. You understand?
I'm
Dr.
with
Les
you.
Henry, Dr. John.
Hold on, I'm with you guys, yeah. But you see what Daewoo said, yeah. This is where, again, we've had on Black Eyes TV, we've had conversations about a new approach politically is needed, or can you even construct these institutions or narratives in the backdrop of being in the diasporan countries? Because this is the kicker. You understand? If you're already in a backdrop of somewhere that doesn't want you to have any sort of power financially, mentally, educationally, all this now, how much are you really going to be able to formulate? Again, one, if there isn't a galvanized community to begin with, that's already a problem, having a consistent community, because the way they've done it, obviously, just speaking on the England one, we've been dispersed a lot now through gentrification. So there's not really black areas again. Yeah, they've done away with estates. So geographically, we're not together. We're already a minority here. So again, constructing some of these narratives is a lot harder or a lot more of a struggle, simply because, as we said, the backdrop is not accommodating to that. Spiritual side of it, or religious, recognizing a religious council, as you guys was talking about, is one thing. But again, religion comes in a box. It has rules to it, are subject to being followed in a particular way. So there's more ease to allow that situation into, as Brother Ali was saying, to allow the Black Council, which in turn could, if done properly, awaken our British Malcolms and our British figureheads that could be doing certain things. That's why they're not going to allow that to run.
They don't have to allow it, bro. Sorry to cut you in there. They don't have to allow it. That's up to us to make it happen. They ain't going to say to you, hey, we're going to allow you to do X, Y. But what they're saying, you have to create your own thing and say, we're going to do this. We don't care whether you allow it. We don't care whether you like it. We don't care whether you're doing gentrification. We don't really care at the end of the day. We've got to think about the future for our children going forward and how we can benefit them. Because otherwise, we're going to stay stuck in a rut until they're ready to say, oh, it's about high time we gave you a small council. They ain't going to say that to you, brother. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna. If you're waiting,
You
if
see
you're
how
waiting for the,
hold on, brother. You see how you mentioned the NWACP or whatever from America, yeah? Again, that is a classic one where you try to start a movement, somehow gets funded by, from people that don't have your interests at hand. And then for years now, you're played with these Jewish people somehow pulling strings from the sideline and corrupting your agenda. So it's very important how it's constructed. I'm with you. We don't need white validation or government validation, but we definitely do need to make sure it's constructed in a way where it maintains its autonomy and its independence. So again, we can use it as a springboard for things.
as Bob Marley said, Babylon system is a vampire, and it continues to be a vampire. You understand? It's a vampire. That's it.
Hmm.
A vampire.
May I just make one more point on this issue? I mean, this is something that I sorry, Uncle Ishmael. This is something that I talk about often because my elders, I'm very in tune with my elders in my life. For example, my uncle told me, he said, do not go to school to be educated by anyone. You go to school to achieve a subject and leave. School teachers are not our mentors. Our parents are our mentors. Our uncles, our aunties are our mentors. Our teachers at school or in an academic establishment is there to help you achieve a particular goal, not a life understanding. That's one thing my uncles told me. So my point being is that, unfortunately, I've come to the realization that to have a conglomerate of Black establishment or Black excellence in a white dominion, in a white kingdom, is asking to fly in water. Almost impossible. We need to go home. We need to go back to Africa. We need to do these thinking back home. Unfortunately, I know we want to do it here because we live here. We want to get it done here because we're here. That's nice and that's good. But in every situation, there is always a best way to do something, and there are other ways to do something.
Yeah.
The best way to do something is the one that will get you the best result, and that is in our own homes, where we come from in Africa, among ourselves, among our own issues. It will be better extended and thought about and carried out there. If we try to do it here, we're fighting against an immovable war, because whether we identify or recognize it or willing to think or imagine that it exists, we have enemies amongst these countries that do not want to see Black people get together like that, because they have a deep fear of retaliation for what they did to us, unfortunately.
I'm telling you, trust me, now is the best time to start something like that. The Black Council of Great Britain. The best time, bro. I'm telling you. Best time.
Okay, me
about
personally, now. I'm making a prayer, and I pray that one day we can get Professor Gus John, Professor Dr. Les Henry, Lee Jasper, Dean Okai, and Professor Robin Walker. I personally believe if we could get those 5 people in a room, it can be done.
What about Louis? You forgot Louis.
Louis. From the UK I'm talking about. And get me in trouble with you. Yeah, from the UK. UK me I deal with you. UK. I got respect for my I got respect for my I'm talking about UK, Bridget. Okay. I believe personally if we could get those 5 people in a room, that council you're talking about can be made. So I'm making a prayer that one day them 5 will come in a room and set this up.
Come and deal with it. I'm ready, man. I'm ready.
Sorry, Dean Okai or ADPAC. Is it ADPAC?
Yeah, ADPAC. ADPAC is Dean Okai. Big up to Dean. That's my guy. Big up Dean.
I got a lot of love and respect for him. Lovely man. So if you're serious about that, Ali, I'm gonna send you to Dean Okai and you could join his organization.
Yeah, send me details. Let's do this, man. Let's do this.
Yes. May I just qualify my position quickly? My,
All right,
I'm a,
listen,
I'm
you guys, yeah. I gotta say this to you guys, yeah. I wish I kind of had yous around me in the last few weeks because we've been doing different conversations, as I said, every Tuesday, 10 o'clock. Let me take the time to just plug now. We're at the hour and a half mark. Big up to everyone who's been um, commenting and watching from Facebook, watching from YouTube, who's hit the like button. If you haven't done that, go and hit the like button. If you appreciate what these brothers are doing on the ground and the conversation that we've been having, again, show love, share the link out, hit the like, donate, hit the cash app. Big up to everybody for that, yeah. Um, but every Tuesday we do a thing, 10 o'clock, True Talk, which is an open panel show. And we talk about, as I said, various subject matters. And all what you man are talking about, I need you guys to come back on that show and voice where we can get into some of that. This week coming, funny enough, we're going to be talking about this Tuesday coming. I believe what I'm going to go with segregation or integration. Yeah, that's what we're talking about because again, this whole week we've been seeing all this foolishness about the royals. You know, we keep talking about politics and how we should deal with it. As the brother Ali was saying, what do we need outside validation for to do half of these things? So I want to batten down on what we think of segregation or integration, where it should be applicable, where it shouldn't be. If it should be across the board, we need to just withdraw and do our own thing. So I hope if not all of yous, but some of you brothers, if you could be around, that would be a good one for this Tuesday True Talk. Look out for the flyer. I'm going to put that out there, yeah, where we chop on different subjects because I think these things are important. And again, not leaving the theme of today's show, mentoring, tutoring, training our young people is the only way forward. When we're talking about these situations of education and whatever, we can't help but talk about where we should be doing it, i.e., our geographical location, who should be responsible. And again, I think what Dawood was saying about understanding that teachers today only qualify you for a subject, even though it's the truth in England and in this backdrop. It's a sad state of affairs because I remember the days, and I'm not that old. Yeah, I mean, I'm 40s, but where teachers were more mentors as well as teaching you a subject. So the fact that we've now got that situation that is a real truth, that we can't rely on these teachers to be any form of mentor in our kids' lives, changes the whole landscape now of education for our young people and how we view it and who we put in charge, if not us ourselves to take charge of our education of our own kids. But it's definitely a conversation that needs to happen. You get me? And we kind of need to delve into more to look at exactly how it should be done. Because again, we always talk about our community, but as I said, that sounds to me then like segregation. And we need to withdraw. So
I mean,
those kinds of things I definitely want us to get into more. I don't want us to go into it too much now. 'Cause if you really want to talk about it, come back on Tuesday for True Talk. But yeah, go to brother. That's
do you
it.
think do you think we can integrate even if we have just a lot of black owned schools? Do you still think do you think we can still be part of the integration system in this country? Because check this out, the Jewish people have got Jewish schools, but they're still classed as people that are well integrated within society. Okay, so why can't we have black owned schools and a black council? You have the Jewish council, I think, of Britain as well. Why can't you have that and still be an integrated part of society within the UK? Why?
Mm.
If they can do it, if it's good for the goose, why isn't it good for the gander? Of course, should be able to do it.
Right.
Shouldn't be a problem.
May I answer you, Uncle Ali? Am I able to answer, Uncle?
Yeah,
Go
go,
to
go,
David.
go.
Well, from what I've learned, to be very honest with you, Uncle Ali, the Jewish people have a very, very special place in the hearts of the Europeans. And that's simply why they're able to do that. by being nice. That's just me being nice and trying to put it in a politically correct manner.
To be honest with you, that doesn't matter.
Praise the Lord.
That doesn't matter. Allahu Akbar, that doesn't matter because we have a special place in the hearts of the Most High, and if we want to do it, we can do it, and we should never say we can't do it because these people are special. We're special as well. Don't ever make yourself that you're not that you're not special. We're special, bro. I'm saying we're special. Yeah, man.
I agree with
Listen,
you.
this has been a constructive conversation. Most definitely, I've enjoyed it. You guys are all personalities in your own right, so I definitely need you guys to come back to Black Eyes TV. Not only talk about future projects as they roll out ish. So as you get confirmation of certain things, I definitely need you to come back, touch base with us, all you guys, talk about things. But I definitely would like, and I'm putting it officially out there, that I'd like to see some of you, if not all of you, the conversation on Tuesday, because I think, I'm hearing some slight differences of opinion as well as agreement. Yeah, but I think it's a conversation that definitely needs expanding, and we need people like you guys who have boots on the ground, who have strong opinions, who stand on their square as far as how they're trying to live and what you're trying to do and achieve to weigh in on these conversations. So I'll definitely invite you to do that. But before we wrap up, I want everybody, before you, Ish, because you're coming last, I want everyone to just give their final thoughts, anything you want to say to the people, them, in relation to the title, the show, anything you want to, batten down on and get out to the people, let the people know. And you know what? Let's start with Miles this time. You guys get me.
I knew you were going to say that.
Let's go with Rude Boy.
So yeah, man. Yeah, just to conclude, of course, I mean we've covered most things. I mean, I would like to conclude by just quickly mentioning something that one of the comments said about the emphasis on spiritual, why we emphasize on spirituality and where that could be dangerous. I mean, I would just like to quickly say the only reason why we mention it is because when we're talking about mentoring and we're talking about young individuals, there's a lot of young individuals out there who have an issue with a sense of purpose. And one thing that spirituality will always give you, no matter whether you're rich or you're poor, is always a sense of purpose. And that's one of the things that I think is important. So to conclude, is that I think that I'm grateful to Ishmael for putting this together and allowing us to all put our own experiences and our own influence to help the next generation.
No doubt, no doubt. All right, brother Ali, what's your final thoughts for the people, then, brother? Much appreciated.
Yeah, I just I just think the way forward, like I said, is for a lot more unity. I think within ourselves, and just try and teach the young people about business and economics and stuff like that, and coming together. And we need to build an institution which is going to benefit us a lot in this country, especially Black people, and that's not discrimination towards other people. I think we definitely need to build an institution which is going to really benefit our young people and Black people within this country in terms of education, crime, economics. We need a big institution that's going to push us in that way. We don't have that here in the UK. In America, they have that. I think it's very important for us to try and build and have that one day. We can build that upon now. Maybe the next generation can carry that through, and it can be beneficial for them going forward. We might not live to see the day where it's really benefiting them, or we might, but I think that's something that we really need going forward, because it will help in so many areas. It will help in the criminal justice system, it will help in housing, it will help in whatever you want to call it. It will help in racism. Every area it will help. So I think we need to try and build an institution like that which really benefits us, to be honest with you. I think it's a positive thing going forward, and I don't think it should be on the premises of they won't allow us. We're not doing it for them at the end of the day. We're doing it for ourselves, and I think it's something that needs to be done. I think we should definitely try and do it. Yeah, big up Black Eyes TV. It's been a pleasure. And yeah, I'd like to come on again and see what I'll go on with the show. It's been brilliant. You know what I mean? It's been amazing.
Yeah, definitely. Much appreciated. Hey, woo. Well, go on, my brother. Speak to the people then.
First, I'd like to say all love and respect to my uncles. I really appreciate you guys and my brother Miles for accompanying me. And you too, Richie. You know, thank you very much for letting us come onto the show. I appreciate it and for giving us the time and your energy as well. My conclusion would be just a reminder to everyone listening and to ourselves of a method of achieving a generation of benefit for the Black community. So I would start by saying that if we intend and if we want to improve the Black community, it should start from parenting, educating parents about, you know, how to connect with their children from a different generation to them, how to understand their children on a academic level, social level, what their children are potentially going through. I also believe that they should also engage their children on a spiritual level, whatever form that takes. I also believe that we should. Our community is a community that thrives on heroes, and I think the mentoring that we do is a form of that, of heroism, of showing a good example. In other words, so I think mentoring should be an essential part of the Black community more than any other community, because that's just the type of people we are. And last but not least is educating the neighbor. Wherever we live, we must endeavor to educate others about ourselves so they may breed tolerance and breed understanding about what we come with, whether this means educating the teachers, whether this means educating the police about how we walk and how we talk. It's not offensive, it's just how we are. We just come with a little more energy. Our voice is just a little bit more loud than the others. It's not violent, it's not being aggressive. That's just how we are. So educating the neighbor is important. And I would leave it at that. Peace and blessings be upon everyone.
Yeah, great. First of all, I'd like to say big up to Black Ice TV for giving us the platform and loving the TV show, loving the host. Enough love to Richie. And we would love to come back on Tuesdays and come back again as many times as possible. Basically, what I wanted to first of saying as well, I'd like to big up my fellow mentors, Brother Ali Kamara, Brother Dawood, and Brother Miles, and Brother Floyd, Brother Naeem, Brother Rakeem, Brother Daly, and all the other brothers and sisters out there who are doing the mentoring with us, the Salam Project. And I would like to leave off by saying that we have to show more love to our young people. Some of our young people who are going through issues, we don't know where what they've gone through. Some of the young people I've spoken to, some of the things they've gone through, I could have never gone through, to be honest with you. So we pray for our young people to overcome their hardships, and we show them love. And only love can conquer hate. And I'm going to leave off by saying, in the spirit of Ali Kamara, who's trying to get me in trouble with organizations, I'm praying that we could have Brother Dean Okai, Brother Lee Jasper, Brother Robin Walker, Brother Professor Gus John, Brother Professor Dr. Les Henry, and we could get them in a room together to set up the Black Council of Britain.
I didn't even say his last name. I just said Louis. What's the matter with you?
I don't know who you're talking about. I've never talked about that. You're talking about some other things. We love everybody. We love everybody.
Oh, you know what? Ismael, that was amazing. You know what? You know why they didn't want to give Louis the visa? They know if they give Louis the visa, everything's done. Once him come in, everything's done. I'm telling you. Done.
Agreed. Done. Shut down.
The people are wicked. You don't understand. They're wicked. They won't give you the opportunity. You got to take it, bro.
We love everybody.
Now listen. They don't want the fire starters coming in, setting it off. They don't want people who spark thought, spirit, and mind and body. Yeah, the interaction.
They want you to be docile and be like, yeah.
Right. It's the age of the zombie, isn't it? Zombie apocalypse. The man just trudge along in one long line and yam brain. Yeah, you don't use brain, just yam brain. Yeah.
Prime example. Prime example of the hiding enemies. Prime example. You try to build something, they're gonna come out the woodwork. No, no, no. Sorry, you get me started again. I'm sorry.
Guys, and I'll leave you on this note. A great film to watch. You know the one that's called Black Jesus and the Messiah. I heard it's a great movie. You've got to watch it. Black Jesus and the Messiah. It's meant to be a great movie. Even Fandy Newton said it's amazing. Class act.
Okay. All right. Bit extra info. Ish, before we leave, let the people know where they can find you. And after the show, email me all the details with the links so I can put that in the description. So anybody that goes on to watch this video and sees the brothers doing their thing, they can find them easily. So let the people know where they can find you, and then later on I will put that in the description under the video, brother.
Yes, thank you. Yes, you can find the Salam Project. Our website is www.thesalamproject.org.uk. On Facebook /The Salam Project, SALAM Project. On Instagram @The Salam Project. On TikTok now @The Salam Project. On LinkedIn @The Salam Project. And our email is admin@thesalamproject.org.uk. Thank you so much, Rishi, for the much appreciated, sir.
No doubt.
Richie,
Sorry,
Miles, been a pleasure, guys. Let's do this again, inshallah. Let's do this again.
No, definitely, brother. You guys have appreciated the conversation, and definitely you guys have got something to offer as far as opinions and as far as the skill set and you know the organization that you're bringing to the ground. So I thank you for that 100%. Let me just stop that. Yeah, so all right, people, everyone who's joined us, big up yourselves every time, whether you're joining us from Facebook or whether you're joining us on the YouTube side of the game. If you haven't subscribed to Black Eyes TV, please support the channel. Go ahead, subscribe, and definitely subscribe to Black Eyes TV X2, which is the secondary channel. I'm just going to play this quick promo and let you see what's happening tomorrow. Another Talking with the Creatives. This is episode 9 with Mr. Riggs. So let me just play this quick intro here for the people then, so you know what's going on Black Eyes TV X2 tomorrow.
Hi, my name is Lyndon Wissard, author of the book The Inspired Diabetic. You are watching Black Eyes TV 7. For more information about me, you can go to my website, theinspireddiabetic.com. Thank you.
Keep your head up. All the shit we been through, I know you fed up. This constant type of pressure, you ain't let up. This country should be happy we ain't teared up. Nobody love us, let us not pretend. No. Let us gain our independence and let us not depend. They'll never stop us now, they couldn't stop us then. This country lucky that we only want equality and not revenge. We need to invest in each other, how much you got to spend? If I needed your help, my brother, how much you got to lend? You got a black business, I support you. I'ma buy black, the block I want us to buy back. I'm trying to buy that, I'm trying not to get shot at in Babylon with a cop at. I need to see an all black Amazon I can shop at. Stop that, cause a black man is king, black man is God. Any black celebrity quiet, that man a fraud. Cause they wanna leave us with no blessings. I seen blacks get beat peacefully protesting, leaving the street bleeding with no weapons, or get COVID treated with no testing. I'm squeezing with no questions. Keep your head up, all the shit we been through, I know you fed up.
Nice. Like it.
No doubt. So those who don't know, Black Eyes TV X2, go check it out. The brother that's gonna be on tomorrow, he's in the chat supporting the live tonight. loving what you brothers are saying. So big up to him. See you tomorrow on Black Eyes TV X2. Look out for us on Sunday. We should have another Nation of Islam stream. I do believe it's part 2 to do we need a different approach to the political process. And this Sunday, I believe they're going to be bringing in brothers and sisters from Africa, America, to talk about the international political scene. Last Sunday gone, we talked about the local or British political scene and our approach to it. This Sunday coming, I believe the conversation is going to be more international. And after that, as I said, next Tuesday's True Talk, look out for the flyers. It's going to be integration or segregation, which one? There's been a whole load of talk. We know where we're living at in Britain, but there's been a whole load of talk about family, racism, institutionalized. It's like certain people have just woken up where they are. But anyway, who am I to tell people well, one? But on a real one, some of these issues that we've been talking about for the last few weeks, whether it be our approach to voting, our approach to government, do we trust the government, all these types of conversations, I believe, lead back to how we construct ourselves as a community. So again, I want to be talking about integration versus segregation in every format, education, economics, who we're sleeping with, all of that we're going to cover. So I definitely want to talk about that. So as always, come and join us for that Tuesday True Talk. Support that open panel show so anyone can jump on, voice your opinion. The only discounting factor is if you're white. This is an all black platform, so it's only black people here. I'm sorry if that excludes you, but that's the rules and regulations of Black Eyes TV 7. Other than that, I thank the brothers again for their time. I thank everybody that's been watching with us. Look out for future shows. Peace and powers to everybody. Once again, thank you.